So today we've got Bernie Sanders breaking up a fight during a Senate hearing. We've got one House representative calling another House representative a smurf. And we've got George Santos holding babies and being weird about it.
And the next time he tries to accost me with a child in my hand, I want him out of here. What happened exactly? He's an animal. I am holding a child. He is a terrorist sympathizer.
Who?
You can go look at the video.
Mr. Santos, who?
What happened?
The House, with all of its turmoil and dysfunction, has evaded a government shutdown, much to the relief of, I'm assuming, all Americans. This was accomplished by the new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, working with Democrats across the aisle to settle budgetary disputes, which is funny because when Kevin McCarthy did the same thing, he was removed from his position. Turns out, negotiating with people you don't like or agree with is a big part of the Speaker's job. But speaking of turmoil, it's been a really busy week and it's only Wednesday. First, after President Biden said that there was, quote, no possibility of a ceasefire in Gaza, members of his own administrative staff, federal officials, and Democratic members of Congress are making it clear that they disagree with the administration's stance. 400 federal officials have anonymously signed an open letter to the president demanding that he rethink his position. Amongst the signees were members of 40 government agencies such as the FBI, the National Security Council, and the Justice Department. While I think it's optimistic to think that the president will actually do anything to change or alter the U.S.'s policy towards Israel, perhaps the combination of strong internal and external pressure will at least save some lives. But in more ridiculous news, we have an update on a story that we covered last week. James Comer, the representative on the House Oversight Committee, who's trying to investigate the quote-unquote Biden crime family for a $200,000 loan between the Biden brothers, was found to have an actually shady $200,000 transaction between himself and his own brother. When Democratic Representative Jared Moskowitz asked Comer about the transaction, which netted his brother $18,000, by the way, Comer said that Moskowitz looked like a smurf. Okay, so we don't make fun of people's looks, but you can decide for yourself whether or not Comer was onto something.
But you and Goldman, who is Mr. Trust Fund, continue to try to
reclaiming my time.
No, I'm not going to give you your time back. We can stop the clock. You all continue to, you look like a smurf here just going around and all this stuff. Now listen.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm going to tell you something.
Hold on. If we're not on time,
we spew disinformation.
You have gone on TV and said the president did something illegal. You're doing stuff with your brother. The American people have the same questions. Why should they believe you? Why should they believe you? Why should they believe you? There's a different rule for the president. There's a different rule for you. Why should they believe what you're saying, Mr. Chairman? Why? You go on Fox News and say loans and deals are a way to evade taxes. We don't know that's what you're doing or not. We don't know. We have no idea. We're supposed to take your word for it. But when the president
you've
says
already
something,
been proven a liar, Mr. Moskowitz.
What's that?
You've already been proven a liar.
Who's proven me a liar? You?
Yes.
Your word means nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Go to my hometown. There's a camera crew there today, an opposition research crew there today.
Mr. Chairman, this seems to have gotten under your skin.
I'll pay for your ticket.
I think the American people have lots of questions, Mr. Chairman, and perhaps you should sit maybe for a deposition.
Either way, when you have ad hominem attacks between members of Congress, no one benefits. It's childish, it's unproductive, and it's incredibly evasive. He used profanity in his defense against the Daily Beast report, and he chose to dispute whether or not the transaction was a loan or not. And fine, clarify what you need to, but I just get really impatient when people try to argue semantics as a way of sidestepping what's actually being discussed. For the record, the Daily Beast report never called the transaction a loan, but Moskowitz did when he asked Comer about it. Anyway, in response, Moskowitz told Comer, quote, "Your word means nothing, Mr. Chairman. Perhaps you should sit maybe for a deposition." And that was when Comer called him a smurf, and later he tweeted that Gargamel was very angry today. Elsewhere, Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma tried to fight the Teamsters' general president during a Senate hearing.
Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution every
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond? Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can't, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't. This is a hearing. And God knows the American people have enough of contempt for Congress. Let's not
I don't
make
like
it worse.
thugs and bullies.
And that's what-
And I don't like you, because you
Hold
just
it.
described yourself.
Hold it. You have the mic.
Yeah.
You have time.
All right.
Make your statement.
Then let's do this, because I did challenge you, and I accepted your challenge, and you went quiet.
No, I didn't go quiet.
Hold on.
You challenged me to a cage match,
No,
acting like a
sir.
12-year-old schoolyard
Hold it.
bully.
Excuse me.
Hold on.
Hold it. No, excuse me. I have the
I
mic.
will say exactly.
Senator
what you
Mullen,
said.
I have the mic. You have questions on any economic issues, anything to say, go for it.
The hearing was over the growing wealth gap in the U.S., the strain that's been put on working class Americans, and how unions can help improve working and living conditions for the majority of Americans. Instead of making any progress on an issue that's relevant to millions of us, we got that exchange. Talk about congressional dysfunction. By the way, Mullen used to be an MMA fighter, and he excused his behavior by reminding people that while he may now be a senator, he's still a man. And I don't like to use the word triggering too often, but what an absolutely triggering response. Boys will be boys, am I right? Moving on, George Santos was seen feeding Lauren Boebert's grandbaby with a bottle on the House floor. Why this happened on the House floor, who knows? I guess just like, why not? Last month, Santos was seen holding a different baby at the Capitol while screaming at reporters about Hamas and suggesting that a Jewish American activist was anti-Semitic. When asked if the baby was his, he said not yet. Honestly, it's one of the less strange things that Santos has done or probably will do. All right, that's all I can handle this morning, and I really hope you got something out of that. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out my podcast, Modern Context. Thank you.